And welcome back. This is the Black Star Dove. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to discuss. Hold on, let me. All right. Today I wanted to discuss the topic of co-parenting for households that don't have both the partners in the household, especially among the Black community. So I wanted to give my thoughts on it and just share some of the things that I have learned throughout my years as I continue to share my story through these videos. I myself do have a son, little young boy. He's grown up very fast though. Like he is like way taller than everyone in his class. So, when they're first born, they measure the feet, and they say if your feet is over 20 inches at birth, then you should be like, this projected height. So he's projected to be about 6'5", which is I'm literally like 5'11", 5'10". So I mean, my father's tall, so maybe it just skipped over me like checkers. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about co-parenting and the importance of it, especially if the both the men and the women are not going to be in the same house. It took me a while to really get a grasp on it. For those of you, no one knows, I have my son every weekend. So I get him Friday night, drop him off Sunday night, and his mother has him during the week. Of course, I do assist with child support. It's not a court order one; it's one that I voluntarily give. And we have this system that we've been having for a few years, and this so far has been working out to the betterment. But it wasn't always like that because there's a whole lot of things. See, when it comes to co-parenting, we have to always remember what's in the best interest of the child. And sometimes that can be a little clouded, especially if there's previous feelings involved. Me myself, my son is 4. The last time I had any type of romantic interest in my son's mother, he was only a few months old. So now that he's 4, from a few months old, I have not thought about having any type of relationship with my son's mother. But also during that time, I've also had a fiance, who I don't have anymore now. Now I'm a single father. Um, but that's a whole nother other video. But the importance of co-parenting. So what I have personally learned, especially as a man, like I take the brunt of all the responsibilities because she is in charge of the day-to-day operations, as I like to call it. He's with her majority of the time. So I pretty much take care of all the other stuff. I do provide financial assistance to her, something that we have agreed upon that I do provide every week. Sometimes she may need a little bit extra, and I do provide that as well because I do know that she has my son and she's taking care of him majority of the time. So I have to make sure that she's all right to make sure that he's all right. But where does the hierarchy stop? One of the biggest problems I had with my ex fiance was the ranking system. So at the time, like I said, at the time I didn't know what I want. So I've always placed my son above everyone else. I learned to not do that. So I was like, because I placed my son above my ex fiance at the time, that means technically I placed his mother above her. Because I'm like, I have to care for my son, and by caring for my son, that means I'm also caring for my son's mother. Like, they're connected. You can't do with one without doing for the other. That was my biggest mistake because um, that was like my first big major relationship outside of having my son from when he was first born. So I didn't know about the boundaries you should be placing. Plus, being a Christian man, I have learned that, sorry, my spouse should be at the head. So it should be my spouse and then my child. Because no matter what, my spouse should be there with me for the rest of my life. In theory, my son would turn 18 and then he'll go have his own family. But my spouse should always be there with me. And the connection between the parenting and the balancing was a mess up on my part. I made her feel inadequate by not placing her above. But like I said, that's a whole different other video. The thing about this video is the importance of co-parenting because, all right, so my son's mother has another child, and my son has a brother, an older brother, older by a few years, and his father is not there for him. Um, he can't be at this current point in time. He's away for a long time. Let's just say that, and I recognize what not having a two-parent household can do to a child because I see it happening all the time. Um, because I am very active in my son's life, that's a it's like a domino effect because his father's not there, and it just like everything just explodes. But I have learned to put these checks and balances in place when it comes to co-parenting. Um, First of all, me and my son's mom only communicate about my son. Unless it's something that is dire need of or dire importance, we only ever communicate about my son. Um, or about our son. I don't want to say my son, about our son. So I do apologize about that. Um, the second thing is that we have an agreed upon schedule. Like, um, she knows I come get him every Friday night. I come drop him off every Saturday. I mean, every Sunday night, and we have that agreed upon schedule. And very rarely does it, sway. Sometimes things have to be worked out for both her and for myself, but that's very rare. So we have an agreed upon schedule. We have, like I said, agreed upon money amount. So everything is structured to be all about him, and that gives us the chance to give all of our love and attention to him. We also have a thing where, because he's with me during the week, sometimes he'll miss me, and she will allow him to call me, and so like, hey, daddy, like he just like has like these wild stories about what happened at daycare. but like he feels so excited to tell me, and I'm just excited to hear them, even though some of the stuff doesn't make any sense. But that's a whole different story. And then, like I said, when he's with me, sometimes he'll miss his mom, and I make sure that he calls his mom when he's with me, even though he's only with me for a smaller portion of the time than with him. Than with her, sorry. So we have these things where it's like we talk about things in the open. Like, I have a tendency to joke around. Like, I know that is a flaw of mine, where even when things are very serious, I can still find a way to laugh about it, both good and bad, depending on how you want to go about it. So I know this is a trait of mine. She has a personality of sometimes taking things a bit too seriously. You see where we're going with this. Um, so sometimes, while words just simply speaking, her words can come off as offensive. So to try to make light of the situation, I'll try to joke about it. And then sometimes, because of our personalities are so different, we'll have this conflict clash. Well, it's very simple. We have agreed upon, whenever something like that happens, is that we will not talk to each other for like 30 minutes. We won't text or nothing for 30 minutes. We'll give each other time to breathe, and we'll come back and we'll reassess the situation of what's happening with the concern that either one of us is bringing up about our child. Um, but just like I said, just seeing this and seeing the results and seeing how my son has been affected, most definitely co-parenting is a must. If like I said, if both parents can't be in the household, um, so for my black man, most definitely be a part of your child's life. Like, if you made it, you raise it, no matter what. For my black woman, please allow that man to raise his child as he sees. Like, another one of our big things that we clash upon. Like I said, I am a Christian man. Well, I'm more of a spiritual man than I am a Christian man. She's a hardcore Christian. I am I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, but I've been straying away from the church because I've been having some questions that can't get answered, and that's a whole nother other video about the church itself. But I am a believer that, or a believer in God, believer in Jesus, and I believe that He died for our sins. Um, but anyway, like I was saying, um, so I have learned to have everything on me and to acknowledge things. I would say about a year ago, my son's mother said that she still had feelings for me. So I politely let her know that I do not have feelings for you, but let's not have this deteriorate in the relationship that we already built with the communication structure of our child. So, because normally I would have been like, no, I'm not feeling you, F you, and all that stuff. But I have learned to try to see the best situation. And the best situation is always a non-fighting one. I do apologize about how I've been all over the place with this video. Um, I believe this is my fourth video, so I'm trying to like write down bulletin points, but I may have to write down more to keep things on track. But other than that, I enjoy making these videos because I enjoy like the actual talking aspect. I've always wanted to do a channel. What always stopped me is I don't know. I just didn't have the confidence, but now I have the confidence. Um, Now I'm about to go change and go to the gym. But like I said for this video, it is very important that both parents be in the right frame of mind. That's where the therapy video came in. So I had to make sure I checked myself and then make sure that she checked herself so that way we can both go about raising our child. But it is very important. I'll be doing more videos on child parenting in the future as I evolve and become more comfortable talking and things of that nature. But thank you for sticking around. If you still stick around, God bless. I love you, and remember, make every day special.